Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
And they living in complete hell, you know, but we have our pride and the ego and that American dream that we're going to reach the mountaintop, as they say in these days. When the mountaintop, you can only reach it if Ahezaah take you there. And what is the mountaintop?
Let me expound on something here. First, in short note, the mountaintop is Ahezaah itself.
Right.
That's Ahezaah itself. The essence of Ahezaah, the knowledge, the life being and awareness, that's the mountaintop. Okay? But I want to expound on this thing you saying crown, poverty is my crown. Okay. The reason Prophet Muhammad said poverty is his crown, was his crown, because he realized that when the more Ahezaah took the world and his own mind, his own imagination, his own desires of life away from him, the more Ahezaah filled him up with itself, with its mind and its desire, its reality, its awareness, the divine, the holy knowledge.
Yes.
So he said, hey, what it is about me, the highest thing about me is my poverty, my nothingness, my no hold on even my own self. Right. I wear that as a crown. You understand? Yeah. That's me. Nothing. Empty. Poverty. Wow. Huh? Yeah. And I stay empty so that my Lord can fill me up with it. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
True indeed.
And that's where he was coming from when he said poverty is my crown, because like Holy Queen Mother said, you grab hold of them other things and here come another leaf of wisdom out of the book that says, I will try you with that which you love over me. Huh? Yeah. And Ahezaah will try you with everything that you grab hold to over it. And it says, set not up equals with me.
Yes.
I'll forgive you for everything.
Yeah.
Except you setting up an equal with me while you are aware.
Right.
Huh? And people do that.
Yes,
they say, well, I want Allah, but I'm with Allah, but. I remember once I was talking to one of my daughters. She called me from school, college, you know, and she wanted some information, and we got to talking about prayer. She had a problem with praying with someone because she didn't feel as though there was something going on. She said her spirituality is going up and she feel a little kind of like uncomfortable. And I told her, I said, what you have to do is not be laid down by the name Allah. See, people lay people down by the name of Allah. They abuse people by the name of Allah. You could be going along in your life and somebody use the name of Allah on you and say, like, you got to do this in the name of Allah. You got to do that. And people get bowed down thinking that they serving Allah when they serving that man or that woman's purpose.
Right.
Oh, it happens all the time. So I gave her a little scenario about when I was working at the post office once. I had this brother named Amin come to me and tell me that I had to pray with him. Now, I know these brothers was not right, because when I walk up in this place, I only stayed there for about 3 months, but I walked up in there and all these ladies trying to hit on me, and they talking to me and they talking about, well, Amin, and these brothers is like this, that, and the other. And I'm like, representing Islam, hitting on women. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, I'm not like them brothers. And as I was around there, you know, I was enlightened. I was always in prayer, in praise of Allah, in remembrance of Allah. But I asked Allah, being that you got me out here, could I just have the experience of bowing down and feeling that energy and praying like in this manner at this place? So Allah allowed it. So this brother was getting on my case saying, I can't pray alone. You got to pray with us, you know, the other Muslims. Now I'm checking these brothers out and their conversations where their mindset is, and it's not with Allah. I was all about Allah. They wasn't all about Allah. So therefore, we're not worshiping under the same laws and orders.
Right.
Huh? We're not worshiping the same thing. Yes. We're not seeing it the same. And because they couldn't handle my conversation, I knew that I could not pray with them. And because the brother who was calling me to prayer was about his own ego, and with him being the leader, I knew I couldn't pray behind this brother. And plus, my Lord had told me many years ago that I would never pray with them again. Anyway, they would not even allow me to go to the masjid to pray with them because it showed me how they was worshiping people like Warith Deen Muhammad. Brother told me I couldn't make salat to Allah while Warith Deen Muhammad was speaking. So I knew, that was the imam, the leader. I said, I knew we had a problem here. Because, and Allah said to me, see how they worship men over me?
Yeah.
Now that was a deep thing. So I just explained to her how I would not let these brothers lay me down. I got on this brother's case. He brought 9 brothers back with him one day to me after I had made salat. And said, you got to come. They was like thugs getting around me. Man, I started cursing them. And my daughter said, you cursed them? I said, just like Jesus cursed the Jews.
There you go.
Yeah, I used that language. In the name of Allah, I cursed them. I profaned them. Because they understood that. I spoke to them in their language. See, people try to play holier than thou. Oh, if he's from Allah, he wouldn't be talking like that. Oh, hell, yes, I am. And I do. Because this is what my people understand. And they backed up off me. And I told them, you're not praying to the same thing I'm praying to. Because you don't know it. You see? And I backed up off them and let them go to their God. You see?
Yes. Yes.
Because they was off course from the Lord El.
Ahezaah was stringing that thread as part of you being a sign of a seal breaker today. When you spoke about the poverty being a crown, how Ahezaah emptied Prophet Muhammad of everything. Ahezaah took me immediately to the Bible when it spoke about Jesus. Was talking about don't put old wine in the new bags. You'll bust them. But you put new wine in the new bags. You become empty, that vessel empty, to be filled up again with the new of Ahezaah. And Ahezaah blessing us now was given forth through you as a part of breaking the seal. One thing that people, I know in religion, and we all came through because they do it now in Islam, on all of them. They still refer to Allah Most High as He. And that's one thing that people don't really want to address.
Right.
He. Say He, Allah's one. Allah is He. Now those
He this, He that, He.
Throughout
Putting
always
Ahezaah as a
half
being.
the thing, right?
What about the she?
Right.
You know,
Right.
we know that it's beyond he and she. It's a it. We don't know what it is. It don't have a gender.
Lord, you still
To have a gender means it has limitations.
Patience. Right.
So it's not limited. It's beyond everything it created. Nothing is like it. It tells you that so clearly in the Holy Quran. Nothing is like unto it. And He is not written in that chapter 112. It's you and Allah is one.
Right. The essence.
The essence, the independent, the besought of all. That thing that's beyond and beyond time, beyond recognition, beyond anything shaped, formed, molded, or created. Beyond. I mean, you know, come on.
That's even in the concept of God, beyond the concept of that
God.
That God,
right.
you know, that God is something you worship, but it's beyond that. You know,
Yeah, because God got
yes.
limitations.
Right.
God is limited to the conception of the person's mind that has created it or spoke it.
Right.
Right. And one thing I think, I know that Ahezaah sends down this message clearly, but I realize that people have a hard time, you know, we get to talking and people have a hard time digesting what we're saying because they they're more comfortable with being able to limit Ahezaah. You
Yeah.
know, if you limit a thing, then you don't have accountability. You could cut off your accountability to it, and then you could twist it and make it right. So
Oh yeah.
I believe that's where they come so deeply with this he and you know, this God thing,
Right.
because they could eliminate their responsibility
Yes.
because
That's the
they're
point.
not going to put Ahezaah in their hearts and in their mind where Ahezaah belongs.
Well, you tell me this here. How could a leader who claimed to be a reformer of the faith,
Right.
how could he be around here for 30-something years before his passing and start calling Allah God, and then don't call him anything in his writing, call him GD? Like the Jews who couldn't say Yahuwah or Allah's name, El,
Right.
or Ilah, or Amen,
Man, right.
which they knew was the name.
Well, you know, and looking at that, like I said, Ahezaah always leaves stories of old for this time too. You know, you had the prophets that had the rebellious sons that who knew the truth.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and they went on to be rebellious because of personal problems they may have had with the jealousy. It's all there. It's all there. It's how they say the game is still the same. The face is just
Change,
changed.
right.
And it's all there. And the thing is, I think one of the most devastating thing I had to accept was my love for Ahezaah is not the next person love for Ahezaah.
Yeah.
You know, it may not be no love there at all. It may just be a knowledge that something beyond themselves is greater, but with limitation, you know. And a lot of people, religion is big business. Like college is big business.
Yeah.
And some people, just like Hitler and different other leaders, they live to lead. And they don't care which way they lead. They just want the numbers. They just want the praises and everything. And that makes them sleep good at night. And they don't take any, they don't look at the accountability that lies before them when they pass on.
Well, look at Louis Farrakhan.
Yeah.
Huh? How you know, he said he knew who the messenger was with a small group of people here in the United States of America, and when we made the appointment to go see him, and then he refused to see us playing his game because he said he was afraid of the man of Allah. You understand? And then misleading his people. He's gonna pass on and leave his people confused and alone, just like his partner were. You understand? Because, you know, Ahezaah revealed something to me the other day. You know, in the book of Malachi, Ahezaah explained that to me as it was talking about the Jews of the old days, the Jews of today, the nation of Islam, and Elijah Muhammad and myself, and it coming to Elijah's temples with myself and Gabriel, right? And the last was the letter that it wrote to the nation of Islam. That's what Malachi is. It's that last part is a letter. It talked about how it would burn them to stubble. Because of their unfair wages. And that thing, man, I've been trying to figure that out for so many years until Allah revealed that to me, that it is a letter to the nation. It was a letter to the nation of Islam, telling them that it was going to burn them to stubble for what they did during the time of Elijah Muhammad. The big businessmen who had all them businesses, didn't educate the common people, the lay people, and hired them for minimum wage or less, then took money from them to give out of their salary to give to the nation of Islam, which made them have less money, and they did not do anything to make sure that the family of the nation of Islam, all the people, was raised up to live at a higher level status like themselves in mind and physical being. You understand? And it revealed to me that, and you know, like Allah used the devil and everything, right? Huh? It used words to burn them down, burn down their businesses. And I was like, whoa. It said, I used him to tear down, to take down all the businesses that was established and that they was getting the rewards of after the passing of Elijah. And I was like, whoa. Because, you know, like he, from here and, you know, I mean, all the international connections, where went about his way, destroying it all, probably unconsciously angry with his father, you know, want to undo his father, and doing the work of Allah anyway. Huh? And now he done left his people.
Right.
And they so lost, they think the mountaintop is in politics. They think that which Allah Muhammad has called them to was to get up there with the jinn. Come on. What about the unseen, almighty, ubiquitous being? Huh? What about true spirituality, which gives true liberation?
Yeah.
Huh? What about Allah? They have forgotten Allah. And they've turned, I don't care how many masjids they going with the minarets and the what have you. I don't care how many times they call Allah's name. It ain't what you say, it's what you do and what your intentions are.
Yeah.
Well, since we're in this heated discussion, Allah again in His mercy, Allah is showing the new wave of Nation of Islam brothers and sisters that Farrakhan is fake and false.
He's leaving them out there.
His whole thing is he know that he's passing on
and trying to straighten out his house and don't know how.
He's throwing Christianity up in there. He got the ministers coming to pray before he speak, and he got Caucasian people up there playing violence. Now you talking about confusion.
Got a mixed
He's
bag
throwing
up there.
everything up in there.
Shaking it up. And
He's throwing everything up in there because Allah ain't gave him the key. He haven't been right, and he's not going to die and receive any rewards. And Allah is being merciful for those who truly believe in it and who are truly sitting up there seeking it beyond him. Allah is showing them the signs.
If they but see.
If they but see. But they can't say Allah just left them out there.
Yeah.
Allah don't leave you out there. For those who truly believe that is seeking Allah beyond that man will come to know that that man was false and came just to get his.
You know, the devil has flipped hope on us.
yes.
Hope has become the malady of the black man, of the African American. Hope is our killer. From Martin Luther King on up to whomever, to Obama now. Hope. You understand? We going, that's why Farrakhan could get over. He talks so charming. He has charmed the people with hope. You know? And Allah says, come to me with looking for faith.
Right.
Huh? Get away from the hope and gain faith. And hope that you can go further in faith.
Right.
You know? If you stuck with just hope and you get locked into just hope, then that's just an endless journey of no going nowhere. Okay, you hope that you can lead this country. All right, when you get to the point where you can lead this country, where you going to lead us? If you have no faith and you got no knowledge and no wisdom, where you gonna lead us?
Right.
To who you gonna give us to? Huh? And with all these people who want to say that we're deluded in our speech and our knowledge and our information, and they're put down the Holy Quran, picked up the Hadith, put down the Hadith, and now they pick up the Constitution of the United States of America that enslaved them.
Right.
And they don't have enough respect to throw that item away about them being 3/5 of a man. Where they gonna take us? If you X Allah out, you know, I had a lot of brothers tell me I couldn't love Allah like I loved Allah 30 years ago or more in religion. Because how you gonna love something you can't see, you can't feel, you can't touch?
Right.
I said, whatever, it makes me love it. It has given me love for it. And when I think about it, my love increases more and more and more. I am overwhelmed and intoxicated with love. That's what I used to feel. Still do, but back then it was new. Right. I'm intoxicated with love for it. And you can't turn me away from it. So what? I can't see, feel, or touch it. It can see, feel, and touch me, and that's what it does. And it gives me love. And I thank it because in that love, I have peace, and I have vibrations to do the power to do for it. And doing for myself. Huh?
Is something.
Your experience is a real experience.
You know, the path of the way of religion
Right.
is not about studying the holy books
Right.
just to gain information, just to know God
Right.
as yourself over some other person.
Right.
It is a path of the way, a guidance, a criterion, a balance between what's right and wrong for all times.
Right.
Huh? And the life of it is hell.
Yes.
The reality of it is hell. It puts you in its essence. And for your obedience, it gives you life, power, energy to love it, to trust it, to be guided by it, to be obedient, to be subservient to it, to lay down, bow down, sit down before it and praise and worship, to not worry about which way your life is going, to know that it will guide you better than you will guide yourself. That's what we need. That's the great success.
Yeah.
Nothing else of this world. And the Muslims and the Christians and the Hebrews, the Jews, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Taoists, all the religious people who claim to be a religion, who claim to be of the path of the way, of the Christ,
Right.
which they try to lay on Jesus and say Jesus was that which he was not. They are all responsible, and they will stand before the throne of Ahezaah, and they will have to be accountable for what came forth out of their mouths, man, to the people. I don't care what language they speaking.
Yes.
Call me crazy now, but when you be in that fire, you will think of these things.
Yeah. Call
You
you
know?
crazy now, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Call me
When it
crazy
come-
now,
when it
like
come
they used to
judgment,
call us crazy
right?
back in the 90s when we talked about all this hell that was going to come down on earth. And they missing the big picture. The devil got us all tied up in the entertainment, huh? Now in politics, and through the greatest trick that he can throw up there, they made us think that this Caucasian, African, Kenyan is one of us that's going to lead us. We're finally free, ain't we? We finally reached the mountaintop. Man, let me tell you something. I fear for people going out driving through the communities because I'm quite sure the arrest rate went up, motor vehicle stops went up throughout the country on black faces because black people ain't supposed to be that happy.
Yeah.
Huh? They ain't supposed
I wonder if they're taking a survey like that right
Oh,
now.
no, they ain't taking no survey, you know? But see, we missed the big picture. See, Allah says it will let the devil throw first.
Right.
Here we go in the day of revelation, the apocalypse.
Yes, right.
And the ministers of religion is turning us away from it, saying it don't exist. They're not preaching about it no more in the churches.
Right.
It ain't happening. Huh? When things that was prophesied to come happen, they say, oh, that's from the devil. Giving the devil power. The big picture is this. Just like in Sodom, when Lot went and was telling the people things was going to happen, they cast Lot aside and his family. And they went partying and got all involved in the lewdness of life and the material things and sex and play and doing exactly what we're doing in this society and throughout the world. And ignored the call of the Lord Most High. Huh?
Yes.
Well, who is it that changed the mind of the Lord El? Who is it that undo what it promised in prophecy was going to come in this day and time for the past 5,000 years, from the Hindus to the Mayans to the Native Americans, you know, to you just go all around the world, people speaking of the same prophecy that came through their prophets.
Yeah.
And we here locked in this bottle of the United States of America don't have no knowledge and education about what's been said and what's going on in other nations. We so locked in, we don't even know why the other nations of people hate the United States of America. And we want to go to war against them for hating us. Of course we want to go to war. Why would you kick me and I ain't did nothing? Oh, yes, you did do something. Your leaders who act in your name
As gods.
Right.
as gods
Out there.
has done something to us. You need to wake up, you know?
Yes, sir.
So we on a new phase, man. You know, they had to do something to keep the people from listening to me. See,
Right,
they
right.
take me serious. The government,
Yes.
you know, the GIN, the secret agents, they take me serious. That's why they doing what they doing.
The very
But
people who are in the lead of creating gods for the people to follow and standards and stuff like that.
oh yeah,
Those people, yeah.
oh yeah.
I saw the most interesting thing. Some people may not look at it as interesting. Is it was in the Star Ledger, a picture of Obama and a picture of President Lincoln.
Oh, yeah.
And if
I
you
saw it in
look
the
at
States.
the
Yeah.
picture, they have a lot of similar features. Very, you know, Obama comes from a Caucasian race. Our people want to ignore that, but it is
We
there.
such a trash heap people. We always want to take every garbage, everything that they throw in the garbage. Oh, it got some black in it, a Negro. It got 85% Filipino, 2% black and some Caucasian, a Negro. It got 95% Chinese, 1% black and
4% Caucasian.
4% Caucasian, a Negro. Everything they got any black, they say that's a Negro. That's an African American, and we want to run and take it.
Well,
you know.
You know, I looked at it and I was like, wow, you know. And then, you know, I started thinking about Abraham Lincoln. I mean, I think too much sometimes. I started thinking about Abraham Lincoln, you know, how he was forced to free the slaves, right? And I tell you about this history thing, right? And we never, African American people, even through Black History Month, we never really go back and look at what happened.
What actually happened?
What actually happened. The Africans, okay, remember, African people sold us to the Caucasian people.
Right.
Right.
The Caucasian people just didn't go into Africa and gather us up. The
Right.
Africans
Was a participant.
sold us
Different tribes.
into
Right.
slavery
Participated
to the
in that.
Caucasians.
Right.
And now we have an African Caucasian president. History
Repeating itself.
Kind of scary.
Yeah, he gonna
Yeah.
sell us off again. Because he ain't talk nothing about the laymen, the poor folks, who always say, he's black, he's us, we've arrived.
Yeah.
He talked about the middle class. And most of the middle class is what?
Not black.
They ain't black. You know, they ain't African American, you know, so it's a sad
Well,
day,
it's
man.
just interesting.
You know?
We just have to sit back and watch and see what happens.
That's an interesting trick that Lincoln pulled with freeing the slaves. He freed the slaves in the states that was rebelling against him, so he didn't have no control over those southern states at the time that he freed them. And he left the ones that he had control over, he kept
Well, the
them.
sad thing about that is Lincoln wanted us thrown out of the United States of
anyway,
America.
yeah.
He
You get
wanted
into
us
trouble,
thrown out.
Back to Africa.
They weren't going to take us to Africa. They weren't going to spend all their fuel and money to get us back to Africa. And you know what cracks me up? They always say we African. You got 50-something states in the United States of America. You got how many states in the continent of Africa that they call nations?
Right.
Where we come from? Come on. I'm more Chinese and Native American that I can identify
Right.
with
Fine
than
trace,
Africa.
yeah.
When they say Africa, come on, Egypt is Africa. Huh?
I easily leave you a sign with one thing. We mentioned at the very beginning of the show when they talked about the monetary system of money. And on the dollar
And I
bill
know
says
we
what?
ain't
In
got
God
it.
we trust.
Yes. In God we
In
trust.
God we
In
trust.
God we-
They left it on
yeah.
the money as a
Right.
sign from Ahezaah to let them know that is what they worship. This
God.
has been an I-Had moment, the calm before the
of you
storm. You want
want
to
to
reach
do
that post office
things
box.
right.
It's on the screen,
To keep up
8795.
with keeping
North
your
New
lives
Jersey,
tight.
07103.
Tight as
or
in
via the
being
internet,
right
third
with the
house.
truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you